the NCRT, the SCR, the NCRT, and the NCTE, National Curriculum Framework. So these bodies gave more importance to teaching aptitude. Teaching aptitude must require for a teacher to teach the subject matter in the classroom, to provide the subject matter to the students, to know the mentalities of psychological, sociological mentality or background of the student. So you must know about these things. And another one, if you want to see the next one. So who is he? You see the picture. So Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the former president of India. He is the teacher, great teacher, model teacher, ideal teacher. So he also suggested all the teaching community, you must develop teaching aptitude, you must develop teaching related topics, you must develop teaching competencies, you must improve how to use teaching aids in the classroom, you must improve the interaction between the teacher and the students. That is why he became a great teacher. So a poor teacher tells, a poor teacher tells, a good teacher teaches, a good teacher teaches, an excellent teacher demonstrates, an excellent teacher demonstrates, but an outstanding teacher motivates. An outstanding teacher motivates. What kind of teacher you require? A poor teacher, or a good teacher, or an excellent teacher, or outstanding teacher. You can assess the teacher's capability. So an excellent teacher demonstrates, outstanding teacher motivates. What is motivation? Encouraging the students, encouraging the student to listen, encouraging the student to know, encouraging the student to participate, encouraging the student to interact. No, students, you do this one. You do not do this one. He never discourages the student. An outstanding teacher never discourages the student, always motivates, always encourages.
The student is asking, sir, please provide some notes. It's not properly. So let him know that we will provide the note.
Okay. An excellent teacher demonstrates. An outstanding teacher motivates. So this kind of teachers we require. This kind of teachers provide the subject matter in the classroom. So that is why we give more importance to the teacher. So all these things will help you to know the importance of the teacher. And next one, nature of teaching aptitude. Nature of teaching aptitude. How can you know the nature of teaching aptitude? Simple to complex. Simple to complex. Known to unknown. Seen to unseen. Concrete to abstract. Particular to general. So these things will help you to know the nature of teaching aptitude. So what is simple to complex? In the classroom, the teacher should provide the subject matter on simple things. not teach complex things. So he introduces the simple things to the students. He introduces the simple things to the students. After that, the teacher should bring the students' mind towards the complexity of the subject matter. Do not teach the simple, do not teach the difficult things, complex things in the classroom first or initially. So you should introduce the simple things that related to the subject matter. And another one, known to unknown. Known to unknown. So as a teacher introduces to the student the known things. The known things to the students in the classroom, whatever may be the topic, whatever may be the subject. So you should introduce the known things first, and then you should teach the unknown things based on the known things. That is another one. So these are the maxims of teaching. So simple to complex, known to unknown, seen to unseen, concrete to abstract, particular to general. These things also called as maxims of teaching. So known to unknown things. Next one, seen to unseen. So what are the scene related items in the classroom? You should demonstrate the various teaching aids. Teaching aids are three types: visual teaching aids, audio teaching aids, audio visual teaching aids, or AV teaching aids. You must demonstrate these teaching aids related to your topic. Then you explain about the unseen topics, unseen concepts. So you teach as a teacher in the classroom all these things. And concrete to abstract. Concrete to abstract. Introduce the students in the classroom concrete things, like simple things, like known things, like seen things. So after that, you can focus on the abstract things. You can focus on the abstract things. So that is why you must use this maxim. That means concrete to abstract in the classroom. And next one, particular to general. Particular to general. So as in the classroom, you should provide to the student the particular things, particular topics, particular concept, particular principles. Then you make the general things. You make the generalizations. So if you want to know the nature of teaching aptitude, you must know the maxims of teaching that are simple to complex, known to unknown, seen to unseen, particular to general. So these maxims of teaching will help you to know the nature of teaching aptitude. And then we focus on objectives of teaching. What are the objectives of teaching aptitude? Teaching is helping the people so that they can understand the realities properly and may adjust in a better way. That is the first objective. As a teacher, you must know, you must understand the realities that related to the topic, and also adjust in a better way. What way is required for teaching? What things required for teaching? What things are required to assess the student capabilities? So these things will help you. Generally, in the classroom, there are three types of students. So first type of student, clever students, are intelligent students, are gifted students. These are the first type of students. Second type of students are average students. Average students. Third type of students are poor students in education or slow learners in education. Poor students in education are slow learners in education. Do not bother about the first type of student. That means clever student, intelligent students, or gifted students.
An example they're asking. They're asking an example. What type of flavor and
What type of?
example they're asking?
So there are three types of students. Clever students means if you teach any subject in a single teaching, they receive the subject matter. Immediately they catch your subject if you teach once in the classroom. So if you assign any work to them, immediately they will do. They would interact with the teacher. They should participate in seminar. They should participate in exhibitions, in conducting workshop at school level. So they are intelligent students. They are intelligent students, gifted students. If you teach once to them, they catch the subject matter. The second category students, average students, needs 2 times 3 times of teaching. Needs 2 times 3 types of teaching. Needs to encourage them. Needs to motivate them to participate, to do something, to know about something that related to the topics. So average students. The third category, slow learners, are backward students in education. If you teach number of times also, they do not receive the subject matter. They do not catch the object of the theme of the topic. Number of times required the teaching. For that purpose, the remedial teaching is necessary for them before the classroom hours, after the classroom hours. Before the school, after the completion of the school, these poor students are slow learners, are backward students in education required remedial classes. Who required remedial classes? Slow learners. Who required number of teachings? 2 times 3 types? Average students. Who do not require number of teachings? Intelligent students. So these are the 3 types of students. So if you teach them, they understood what is the objective of teaching. The teaching is helping to people so that they can understand the realities properly. What realities are there in the society? What is going on in the society? What are the changes occurred in the society? So real things they try to and may adjust in a better way. These are the conditions of the society. These are the things that related to the society. So as for based on that feedback based on the changes of the society. They may be changed their way. So that is the first objective. What is the objective of teaching? Understand the realities and adjust in a better way. That is the first one. Next, second one, enabling the people to establish the contact with truth and to take the decisions. We provide, the teacher should provide the correct events, the truth events, the real facts in the classroom. Based on that, they will take decision. They will take decision. Otherwise, it is not possible to take the decisions. Even though if they are taking a decision without clarity, without understanding the truth, fact, event in the society, so it is not good for them. So that is why enabling the peoples to establish the contact with the truth and to take the decision. If the students want to take good decision in the classroom regarding topic, regarding anything, so we should provide truth-based knowledge to the students. And the next one, teaching process should make a people the best worker and the best thinker. That is why creative thinking, reasoning power developed among the student in the four walls of classroom through providing the subject matter by the concerned subject teacher. That is why the Secondary Education Commission given a quotation, even the best curriculum, the most perfect syllabus remains dead unless quickened into the life by teaching the right kind of teacher, by using the right kind of method. So this was given by the Secondary Education Commission. So right teachers required to provide the subject matter, in the classroom based on the truth for taking good decisions. That is another objective. Next objective is teaching process should make a people the best worker and the best thinker. Best worker, best thinker. Creative thinking and reasonable thinking. You should provide creative thinking and reasoning power for improving the best worker and best thinker. Sometimes don't teach each and everything. So you encourage the student to interact with the teacher. You encourage them as a teacher. You encourage them to interact. That is why recently the central government and the state government introduced constructive approach in teaching. Constructive approach in teaching. What is constructive approach? The teacher should not teach in the classroom. The teacher only provides advices, suggestions, some hints that related to the subject matter. So based on the knowing things, the student will interact with the teacher regarding getting the subject matter. So here the reasonable thinking or creative thinking is necessary for students to improve the best worker and best thinker related to the subject. This is another objective of teaching aptitude. Next, the last objective of teaching aptitude is, it is to help one another every day so that the new experiences are gained and that people may perform some constructive task. So help one another every day, not a single day, not 1 month, 2 months. Every day require the help of others, require the help of the others to solve the problems, to take the solutions for the problem, to know the subject matter. So for that some new experience also required, some new experience also required. So this is the another objective of teaching. Next one, so here there are phases of teaching. So here, if you want to know the characteristics of teaching aptitude, you must know the phases of teaching. So there are 3 kinds of phases in teaching. Phase 1, preactive phase. So in the preactive phase, fixing of goals and contents. Fixing of goals and contents. What is preactive phase? In the preactive phase, the teacher should prepare a lesson. That is the first point. The teachers prepare a period plan or lesson plan. The teachers prepare a required teaching aids to the topic. So, and also another important point, the teacher must fixing the goals and contents. So what are the goals? As per the Bloom's taxonomy, the teacher must fix the goals based on the knowledge, understanding, application, skills, attitude and attitudes. So these are the Bloom's taxonomy related educational objectives. So if you want to teach a subject matter in the classroom, so you must prepare all these things. That is called phase 1. So that is the pre-active phase. So if you want to setting a goal, you try to reach that goal. So why do we teach the subject matter? Everyone teach. So we have to achieve the targeted goals of the topic. That is why we give importance to the phase 1. So this is the first phase of teaching. And the second phase of teaching, interactive phase. Interactive phase. So what is interactive phase? Interactive phase is nothing but diagnosis of the learner, actions and the reactions. So after preparation of the lesson, the teacher enter into the classroom and teach to the students. So how to teach to the students? So as per the planning, as per the setting of the goals, you teach to the students. So in the middle of the teaching also, you ask. In the middle of the teaching also, you ask some questions. You ask some questions to students whether they are following the lesson or not. Whether they are following the lesson or not. You interact. You give more importance to the interaction with the students. So this is the second phase of teaching. And next phase of teaching, that is third phase. Post-active phase. So this post-active phase based on the appropriate testing devices, feedback to teaching. So after teaching or after second phase, the teacher will ask some questions to the students whether they understood the lesson or not. So that is why you ask some questions, you conduct examinations, you take the feedback from the students whether they are understanding the concepts or not.
So one person is asking, what is the characteristics of a good teacher? Ashfaq.
So what is the characteristics of good teacher? The good teacher, one of the characteristics is to prepare the lesson well, to plan the lesson well, to set the goals in a good manner that related to that topic. A good teacher encourages the interaction in the classroom. A good teacher encourages the questions by the students. A good teacher involved the solving the problems of the student. A good teacher should try to take the remedial classes, those who are slow learners in the classroom. These are some of the characteristics of a good teacher. After the third phase, after the third phase of teaching, elements of teaching aptitude are basic requirement of teaching aptitudes. What are the elements required? It includes the provision of desirable information. Desirable information student required. Through teaching aptitude only we provide that desirable information to the students. It is causing to learning. It is not confusion among the students. So the students must learn something from the teacher or the topic. That is the second element. It needs efficient planning. So in the first phase of teaching we already discussed planning. Planning needs career plan preparation, thorough preparedness, teaching aids preparedness, and each and everything prepared for a good teaching. That is efficient planning. It is selective. So based on the subject, what topics are given, what topics are there in different subject, you select the correct method to teach to that topic. So that is another important teaching aptitude, another important element of the teaching aptitude. It is to provide opportunities for activity. So in the classroom must provide opportunities for doing activities, curricular activities, seminar, workshop, project work, reading work, writing work. So these things required. So these are some of the elements. And next one, it is sympathetic, It is an organization of learning. It is democratic. It is progressive. So give importance to the students. It is a democratic classroom. In the democratic classroom, we should provide the majority opinions of the students in the desirable learning. It is also progressive learning. Progressive learning also required for students to know something about the topic. It leads to emotional stability. It is helping the student to adjust himself to his environment. It is a means of preparation. It is both diagnostic and remedial. So these elements also very useful for them to do certain things in the classroom. And the next one, learner's characteristics. Situation related characteristics, decision related characteristics, learner related characteristics. Situation based. So the teacher should provide situation in the classroom. Situation based teaching in the classroom. Dramatization. Situation means dramatization technique, role play technique will be useful for situation. So that kind of characteristics must be improved among the learner. Decision related characters. So after knowing something, if they are required taking a decision, immediately they will take. That kind of information should be provided in the classroom. So that is another type of characteristics of learner. And last one, learners related characteristics. So style of learning, style of observing, style of interaction among the students and teacher, and they are useful for the people to improving their attitudes. And next topic is principles of teaching. There are two kinds of principles: general principles of teaching and the psychological principles of teaching. So principle of motivation, principle of activity, principle of interest, principle of life relatedness. So how can you develop the motivation? So testing the previous knowledge of the students. We can motivate the student through testing the previous knowledge of the students. That is one kind of motivation. Second one, by showing any teaching aid, visual teaching aid, audio teaching aid, and audio visual teaching aid, and motivate the students. And third one, creating a situation in the classroom. Creating situation in the classroom, role play, simulation, etc. So through this, we can motivate the students. Activity based, interest based, and life related based situations also you may be provided, the teacher may be provided in the classroom for learning. And next principle of definite aim, principle of recognition of individual differences, principle of selection, principle of planning. So these principles also very useful for the classroom learner to improving teaching aptitude. And next one is principle of division, principle of revision, principle of creation and recreation, principle of democratic dealing. So creation and recreation also one of the important principle for the classroom students. You provide some creation based on the curricular activities. So like quiz, conducting quiz. So puzzle based quiz, and etc. And the recreation also should provide. So you assign something to the students to do on the blackboard. So that related to the recreation. So these all principles also very useful for a teacher to improve the teaching aptitude. And the next one, psychological principles of teaching. What is psychological principles of teaching? Teaching principles based on learning principles are called psychological principles. In the teaching process, teaching strategies, tactics, and techniques are used to achieve learning objectives. These are the psychological principles. So, mind mapping. Mind mapping is one of the important psychological principle. Brainstorming session, one of the important one. And interaction, debate and discussion. Debate and discussion also another kind of psychological principles. These are useful for them. And the last one, factors affecting teaching. The following factors are affecting the teacher's teaching. Educational qualifications of teacher. Lower qualifications, higher qualifications. So higher qualification teachers affecting the students effectively than BA, B.Ed, BS, B.Ed, MA, M.Ed, MS, M.Ed. So those who having higher qualification, they know something about the lower qualifications people or teachers. So if they have a good background, they can get the useful information or useful suggestions from the good qualified teachers. Next, second one, skills. What kind of skills we have to improve? Communication skills of teacher must be improved. Taking teaching aids. The teacher must use teaching aids. Visual, audio, visual teaching must be used. So charts, maps, visual, audio, cassettes, tape recorders, listenable items you bring. Audio, visual, television, computer and other motion pictures are useful. So this kind of teaching aids also improve the teacher's teaching. Then techniques of teaching. What kind of techniques required? So different kinds of techniques. Magazines of teaching. Known to unknown, seen to unseen, simple to complex, particular to general. This kind of techniques also useful for them. Method of teaching. What kind of method? So lecture method, lecture cum demonstration method, project method, socialized recitation method, supervised study method, team teaching, problem solving method. These are the methods. Which method is suitable for which topic? The suitable methods must be used for teaching. So that is also a skill. Next is human relation skills. So you must, as a teacher, you must develop eye-to-eye contact. Eye-to-eye contact in the classroom. So that improves the human relations. And experience of teacher, classroom environment, economic factor, administrative policies of school or college or university, subject matter, parental expectations. These are also very useful. Experiences of teacher. That is why sometimes the school will bring all the students to the excursion to see the archaeological department, to see some science-based planetariums. So these things will help. Classroom environment also very useful. Good classroom environment must be set up for good learning. and economic factors. Sometimes administrative policies also very useful for them. And one more important thing, that is parental expectations. Why the parent sent their children to the school? So we must satisfy the parents at maximum or at optimum. So the parental expectations, if the teacher satisfied the classroom teaching, that teaching aptitude achieved their respective goal. And these are the concepts related to the first 3-4 topics. So if you want to any queries regarding this one, please ask me.
They can either type or they can ask.
You can type your query or will ask me.
We'll wait for question and answer session. Mr. Chakravarti Kumar sir is asking a question.
What questions?
He will speak, sir. The question is, please explain. Sometimes two answers look very close. How to answer those questions?
Which questions, sir?
Mandeep Kaur is asking one question, that sometimes there are two options in the question in UGC-NET exam. They both look similar. How to counter those?
So regarding two options are similar, so how can you answer to that questions? So if you do not have a comprehensive knowledge on the particular topic or on the asked questions, so you will not answer. So comprehensive knowledge required for answering that kind of questions. Both are similar questions. Sometimes which one? Both are the same. So how can I answer either this one or that one? So without knowing the subject matter, we could not answer that type of questions. That is why you must require comprehensive knowledge on that particular topic or on that particular question. Then only we can answer. Otherwise, we will not answer.
Okay, so another question is coming from Mandeep Kaur, and example of concrete to abstract.
Yeah. Concrete to abstract. Example. Suppose, so in a fine day, rain occurred. So rain occurred. So in another day, the dark clouds are there in the sky. So what we expect when we saw the dark clouds? The rain will come. So today the rain may be come. So this is the concrete and abstract. So earlier we have seen the many a kind of rains occurred. So the next day when we are seeing the dark clouds, we are expecting the rain. That is the example for concrete to abstract.
Another question coming from Trumpet Kaur, sir, please repeat learner's characteristics.
So learner characteristics, situation related characteristics, decision related characteristics, learner related characteristics. What is situation related characteristics? The learner must learn more through providing classroom situation. Suppose one topic is there. Suppose mathematics is there. So you use the playway method you use the play way method. You ask the students to come. Students, you take these numbers. So 9 minus 5, how much? One student will take 9, another student will take 5, another student will take minus 9, 5 minus. So the answer is 4. Another student will join by showing the 4. So this is a kind of situation in the classroom. And regarding science also, if you go to the laboratory, when we are doing oxygen experiment, hydrogen experiment, they are seeing different kinds of compositions mixing for making or coming hydrogen or carbon dioxide or oxygen. So that is another kind of situation. So through that situation, the learner learning more. So next one, decision related characters. Decision means, so today the students needs student centered learning, not teacher learning. So I am teaching. So this is the teaching. This kind of teaching is required for you only, not for the classroom students, regular classroom students, those who are learning in high schools or junior colleges. So higher classes students require this kind of things. But here, if the students wants to take any decision regarding something that related to the subject, so we should provide the comprehensive concept matter to the students. So this is child centered or content centered, child centered or content centered teaching. Child centered teaching or content centered teaching or community based centered teaching is giving scope to take good decisions. So that is the second character. So learner related characters. I am a student. So I have a kind of a style of learning. So I am sitting like this. I am sitting like this. I am sure I am watching something like this. So this is my style. Sometimes slow learning is a kind of demerit. Sometimes it is a habit of some students. Slow learning. So I am slowly writing. It is not a defect. It is not a demerit of me. It is my style of learning.
Sorry for interruption, sir. There are a lot of questions coming in. So I hope you understood. We will go to the next question now. Please explain phase 2 of teaching. Archana, we will share this slide and we will let you know after that. It is going. We are running short of time. So we will contact your examiner team. Will contact you to answer a question. Nupur Tiwari, please explain types of evaluation system. I guess this is also going to take some time.
Types of evaluation come in the next one.
Yeah. So what sir is saying,
I will tell you.
Let me sir read out the questions here and then you can answer. Mandeep Kaur is asking, classroom communication is the basis of social identity. Sir, please explain. Nupur Tiwari again asked, in which teaching method learners' participation is made optimal or proactive? Mandeep Kaur is asking so many questions. Thanks for asking so many questions, Mandeep. Effectiveness of teaching has to be judged in terms of, that is a question of Mandeep Kaur. And Archana again asked, which of the following is example of personality test? Aptitude test, achievement test, interest test, or intelligence test? So these are the questions, sir. Would you like to answer Archana's question? Which of the following is an example of personality test? Aptitude test, achievement test, interest test, or intelligence test?
Intelligence test. So these all tests are useful for improving or identifying the personality test. So in one aspect, we will assess some of the characteristics of student are attitude test and achievement test, interest test or intelligence test. So these all required. These all tests are required for improving personality. As a teacher, if you want to improve your personality, so you must face this test. Aptitude test, achievement test also need. That is why in the evaluation part, so the term introduced, continuous comprehensive evaluation. So this is actually next topic, continuous comprehensive evaluation. In the continuous comprehensive evaluation, so we assess the student every day, not a single day. After completion of everyday teaching, we will assess the teachers, we will assess the performance of the student or learner in the classroom.
Well, Nupur Tiwari is asking, sir, please explain levels of cognitive interchange.
The cognitive interchange. Actually, the Bloom's given this cognitive domain. So as for the cognitive domain, there are different kinds of components. There are different components like knowledge based, and comprehension or understanding. This is the second one. And third one is application, attitude and appreciation. These are the different levels in the Bloom's taxonomy, particularly cognitive domain. Cognitive domain related to the development of knowledge. Cognitive domain related to the intellectuality. Cognitive domain related to the people, how much they acquire the knowledge in the classroom. So these instructional objectives are steps of the cognitive domain, help you to assess the student knowledge or improving or providing the subject matter among the students. That is why knowledge based questions we are providing. Understanding, knowledge based means recalls and recognizes based questions we ask. The question starts with WH, what, which, where, whose, when. These questions related to the knowledge. Understanding questions explains, give reasons, and describing the subject matter, and detect errors, rectify errors, interpretation of the data. These are related to the understanding. And application. So the acquired knowledge must be useful for a student in a unfamiliar situation. The student analyze the situation. The student select relevant information to the problem. The student predicts sometimes. The student inferences the content. This is related to the application.
Yeah, so Archana, sir, the final answer is aptitude test. Now, as sir explained, there are various methods, and through different techniques it will be judged. It is not only the aptitude test. Well, thank you very much for attending this seminar, all attendees. You can see on the screen there is an email ID given by sir. You can note that down and you can send him an email if you have any follow-up question. You can also note down his phone number if you want to. And if you want to further practice the paper 1 and teaching aptitude, go ahead and register on our website exammeter.com, and there are a lot of free resources that you can browse through, and you can also, there are some paid ones as well if you want to really prepare well. And we will continue to conduct this kind of webinars in future. Hope you like it. And we are now going to put this session into polling mode where you will answer some of our questions to improve this kind of webinars. So I will request you to go ahead and कोई बात नहीं, it's okay. What voice are it? It's okay. जाने दो, it's on the screen now.
Hello, sir.